Sam Smith here at BBC Radio Suffolk. Well, it's time to talk gadgets on the show. Matt Porter runs Matt Porter Web Design in Waldringfield. He's our gadget guru, thegadgetman.org.uk, to look at all the various different things that he reviews. We were scheduled to talk to him via our technology here at BBC Radio Suffolk in the car park next to a very expensive electric car. That technology out there is still working. Ours has failed, so he's just run in. Hello.
Hello there.
Nice to see you. Don't review our gadgetry, will you? So an electric car, not the first one you've reviewed and test drove. You've done a couple of Renaults, haven't you?
This is the fifth one,
and a couple of Beamers.
Yes.
So this is the Tesla.
This is the Tesla Model S.
Okay, and it's all electric.
It is entirely electric. This particular one is the Model S P85 Plus. The P stands for performance. The 85 is the kilowatt power of the electric motor, so it's 85 kilowatts, and the plus means it has additional specifications. This is the press car, so it's fully spec'd.
Okay, so it's
right
fully
up.
loaded.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I've heard people talk about Teslas in the past, and they are very, very popular in the United States, aren't they? An awful lot of people have them there.
There was a point where they were the best-selling car for a number of months, I think last year, so they are very, very popular indeed. Partly for... They are amazing cars, but partly because there are tax benefits. There's obviously the running of the car is vastly reduced, which I'll talk about later on or shortly. And yeah, they're an all-American car, but they are pretty amazing as well.
Oh, it's a good-looking car, isn't it? So
yeah, if you think of something similar in kind of style to something like a Jaguar XF, similar, although other people have said it looks like a Maserati from one side.
Yeah.
And
no, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So a good-looking car, all electric, and a performance vehicle.
Yes, this is the performance version of in fact, there's an even quicker one. There is a P85D, which is four-wheel drive. That has 85 kilowatt motors on front and back.
So this ain't no milk float.
The P85D is 691 brake horsepower. This one is just over 400. 0 to 60 is about 4 seconds. I don't know what the top speed is because I've kept within the speed limits, but I believe it's around sort of 150, 140, 150, something like that.
For an electric car?
It is absolutely astounding to drive. I picked it up from West Drayton, which is where Tesla's store, as they call it, is, in West Drayton near Heathrow. Picked it up on Friday afternoon. I drove it from West Drayton to Harpenden, which is where one of my friends lives. I went to see him. Then I drove to Hitchin, and then I drove it from Hitchin to Baldock, where I charged it in a rapid charge point at their service station there.
I did see at one point that you were unsure about where to charge it. I mean, was it easy to find places to charge it up?
It's a bit scary initially. There are built into the car is a supercharger map. Tesla do their own chargers, which are what they call superchargers, which are incredibly high powered. They will charge the car up to about half its mileage or half its range in about half an hour. And it will do about 250 miles on a charge, which is very good. Up to 300 if you drove very, very carefully. It is a bit scary. They gave me access cards to... there's Ecotricity. There's companies that are looking after the charge points all around Source East and all of these.
So, are there enough charge points around?
There are at the moment. The problem I had was the output of the chargers, because the Tesla requires quite a lot of electricity to charge it up. If I sat at, say, for instance, a charge point at Waitrose, I could be there 24 hours to charge the battery, which is obviously, 6 miles per hour it will charge at that place. So 12 miles in 2 hours is no good. No. Other places, the 50 kilowatt at the service stations on the A14, so they will charge at 65 miles per hour, which is a lot better. That needs to be improved, but I think from what I understand, it is being improved as we sort of sit here. There, people are buying electric cars. What I did find out when I went out to charge the car yesterday morning, I was the only car in the car park when I got there, and there are 4 bays. And I pulled up and I set it all up, plugged it all in, and then I went off shopping and walked around and had something to eat. And as I was looking out the window, I was thinking, oh, goodness me, there's some more people charging their cars over there because the bays had filled up. And when I went outside to sort of get the car and everything, it turned out they were just normal cars that people had just parked in the bays.
Shock horror. Normal car drivers parking in electric bays.
It's kind of
I
pretty
feel another phone in coming on. like those disabled bays.
These bays have a great big plug painted onto the floor. There's signs up everywhere saying electric charging bay. They're wider because you need the space to manoeuvre to plug your cables in. So I was a bit surprised. Well, I wasn't actually. It's sort of... That's the way thing is. These things are in life, aren't they? People just park anywhere. But it was a great, fantastic car in every way.
Okay, come back and talk some more about cost.
Yes.
In a moment or two, and kind of marks out of 10 for it. But let's get the latest if you are out and about this morning, whatever mode of transport.
BBC Radio Suffolk Travel.
And here's David with the detail. Hi, David.
Hello there. Yes, at the moment it's not too bad on the A14 heading to and away from Ipswich. Bramford Road going into Ipswich. It is looking a little busy there at the moment, but nothing too major going on. And over the Orwell Bridge, A14's fine. A12 through the county, also flowing pretty freely. If you've seen an incident or an accident, do let us know about it by calling 01473 212121. Looking at the trains right now, and at the moment there are no major delays or problems, although Abellio Greater Anglia could be disrupted at Colchester Town. That's due to a points failure. There may be delays and cancellations while the repairs take place. And that's the latest BBC Radio Suffolk Travel.
Oh no, wrong button, Murphy. Wrong button, Murphy. So let's talk to Matt instead. Hello. So how much is the Tesla? And then I know you've got some other features that we just briefly want to mention.
That's right.
Inside, because it is very, very high tech, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. The car itself, the way that you go to purchase a Tesla is you do it online, if you like. You go to their website and you spec the car. It's kind of, you build it to spec. So you pick the type of wheels you want to have, because there's 19-inch or 21-inch wheels. Whether you want different coloured alloys, what colour you want the car to be, because obviously that affects the price if you want to have a super duper paint job. And then it gives you a price to lease it and to also to buy it. As you're doing it, it shows you that price. From what I can see, starting price, you're probably looking at about £56,000. If you want the full spec, four-wheel drive, high performance, you're into sort of heading towards £99,000, £100,000.
Wow.
The one downstairs, I would say, is about £98,000 because it's fully loaded.
Wow. So a nice toy and some state-of-the-art gadgetry in there as well.
Yes, absolutely. You sit in the car and when you start it, you don't start it, nothing happens because it powers up, really. There's no noise. You have stereo system in there, which gives you FM, DAB and internet. You have internet radio if you wish. It has a permanent internet connection running on 3G all the time.
So what were you tuned into then?
I was tuned into Radio Suffolk whilst I was in Hertfordshire.
Right.
But I did actually pick. There's a RDO and tune in as well. So I picked a hip hop station at one point, which was very interesting. It has the gadgetry inside. It has a 17-inch monitor as the centre console, and everything's controlled from there for your climate control. Everything. So if you want to open the sunroof, there is a picture of the sunroof on the screen, and you just drag your finger down the screen and it'll open it as your wishes. The mirrors retract. It has air suspension which adjusts to your driving styles.
Okay, and then when is it back to the real world for you? When's it got to go back?
Wednesday.
Okay,
it gets picked up on Wednesday.
Enjoy the rest of the rides.
I mean, they were absolutely generous beyond belief to allow me to have the car from Friday to Wednesday. It's an expensive car and it's a great amount of trust. However, they believed that your station and show were worthy of
Excellent.
it. Yeah,
it's a fascinating issue though about electric cars. It really is, and when you talk about the technology in that, you know, and people still think it's a milk float. But
what I would like to add very quickly is that people will always say, it's electric, it's still going to be powered via fossil fuels because the electricity has to come from somewhere. Tesla specifically are pushing eco-friendly electricity. So their charging stations have solar panels on them. They want to have renewable sources to charge those cars. So
that's fascinating. Really is. Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is Matt Porter from Matt Porter Web Design, thegadgetman.org.uk for more details about the gadgets that he reviews.
There will be a full review online shortly.
Okay. Basically, he hasn't written it yet, but it will be. Thank you very much. So if you're looking to buy an electric car, there is will be details on there about the Tesla.